is almost in the books. We got the Birds and the Falcons tomorrow. But, man, a lot of people in our survivor pools are going to be completely screwed. What a crazy week. How about the Baltimore Ravens blowing that lead? Unbelievable. Unbelievable to the Raiders. Gardner Minshew's quietly had 2 really good games. Once again, the wide receivers, not named Zay Flowers, on the Ravens are completely non-existent. Crazy. The Raiders rushed for 1.6 yards per carry and somehow won the game. How is that even possible, guys? That's how horrible this Ravens team played today. They're 0-2, and it's going to be a long uphill battle for them to make the playoffs. It's like 11% of the teams that go 0-2 actually make the playoffs. Cleveland beat Jacksonville. That's another upset. I mean, the Jaguars, Doug Peterson is about to get fired again. They're playing so bad. 14 for 30, Trevor Lawrence. They paid him $50 million to be horrible at football. Trevor Lawrence is an absolute dumpster fire. 14 for 30, 220 yards, 4 sacks, 71 rating. Man, Trevor Lawrence is probably the most overpaid player in the NFL. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. The Jaguars are trash. Doug Peterson is about to get fired. The Jets got their first win of the year against the Titans, who are not very good. They're just not a good football team. They're going to be a top 10 draft for sure. Will Levis is just not good. I thought Will Levis was going to start to take a step forward this year, but he has absolutely not taken a step forward. 19 for 28, 190 yards, 4 sacks, 1 interception, 84 rating. Pollard was okay, 17 for 62. Calvin Ridley, 4 for 77. Aaron Rodgers, 18 for 30, 176, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Breece Hall bounced back, 14 carries, 62 yards. Jets get a nice road victory. San Francisco. Oh, yeah, baby. All day. All day. Go Birds. All day. San Francisco lost on the road to Minnesota. I mean, San Francisco lost that game more than Minnesota won it with the penalties and the turnovers. San Francisco played horrible today, and, that happens in the NFL sometimes. Chargers dominated. That was the chalk this week. I should have went all my survivor picks on the Chargers. I survived 7 out of 10 so far. Oh, how classy of you. Clap cheeks. Super classy of you. Woo, man, the Cowboys got smoked. They got embarrassed. 44-19 at home. Oh, my gosh. Absolutely embarrassed. They were terrible today. Absolutely embarrassed. Dak Prescott threw for 300 yards almost. 78, 2 interceptions. They couldn't run the ball at all. 3.2 yards per carry. CeeDee Lamb only had 4 catches. They couldn't. Alvin Kamara, old man Kamara, 20 carries for 115 yards and 3 tutties. Oh my gosh. Oh man, if you're a Cowboys fan, I pity you. I absolutely pity you. 3 points the Cowboys scored in the second half. 3 points? Oh my gosh. The Cowboys. Jerry Jones, they're going to kill Jerry Jones before they win a Super Bowl, that's for sure. Steelers had a great win today. Saved a lot of my bets. If it wasn't for the Steelers, I would have had a horrible day. It was not my best week picking games this week for sure. I thought Jacksonville was going to play better. I can't believe Baltimore lost. I mean, how is that? Yeah, Cardinals had a great game, but the Rams are extremely banged up. They were signing players off people's practice squads this week to fill out their roster. So you got to take that one with a grain of salt. No Puka Nacua. Cooper Kupp got hurt. You played the Rams F squad. What do you mean they got to win? The Eagles won. What are you talking about? The Cowboys got spanked at home. The Eagles had almost 400 yards of total offense. But they won. There's no barely in the NFL. You either win or you don't win. Yeah, the Bucks look great. If you've been following my content, I called that in my prediction video this week. I called the Buccaneers upset over the Lions, and oh my God, did people absolutely destroy me in the comments when I said the Buccaneers were going to win this week. Who's laughing now? Who is laughing now? I called that Bucks upset this week. One of my better picks this week. Not the best week for me. How about the Colts laying an absolute egg against a Jordan Loveless Green Bay Packers? Yeah, the Colts' run defense is horrible. Yeah, the Seahawks just got out of Dodge, man. They got lucky winning that game for sure. The Seahawks' offensive line is so bad. It's unbelievably bad. Yeah, that just goes to show you that the Buccaneers are a good team. They're pretty solid, and they can win if their best guys don't have good games. The Buccaneers are for real. Absolutely for real. Carolina got dominated again. The Giants stunk it up again. Lost to the Commanders. The Ravens should be ashamed of themselves the way they played. That game was hard to watch. Yeah, it's tough, man. The Rams were literally on their 4th and 5th string offensive linemen. Thanks, Liam. Appreciate you. Yeah, that Ravens game, you could beat the Ravens. The Ravens have been reeling, man. They've been playing terrible. My thoughts on Tua. So I played football my whole life. I dealt with concussion issues as well. That's one of the reasons why I stopped playing football. And he's taken big hits. And that hit that he took wasn't even that big of a hit in the grand scheme of things. His brain's in that mode now where any little hit, it's just shutting off. So, I don't know. I don't think Tua's going to... No, just high school. I had to stop playing in 11th grade because of concussions. And then I started, having really bad concussion symptoms. I started, passing out. And then I ended up having, a grand mal seizure, related to my concussions from football. Yeah, Arizona's interesting. The offense looked really good today. No, I don't think he'll be a bust. He's got too many, he'll figure it out. With his dad, and he's been around the game his whole life. He's going to be a cerebral guy. He doesn't have enough speed to blow by guys. He's just going to run really good routes, use his good hands. He'll be okay. He had problems with separation in college a little bit, but he'll figure it out, I think. Yeah, that stinks, man. I would be surprised if we see Tua within the next 8 weeks, but Tua's a pretty stubborn guy, so I don't want him to keep playing, but, my gut tells me that he's going to try to play again, which is scary, because you don't know when when the next hit's your last hit, man. Daniel Jones was terrible again, 16 for 28, 178. He can't even throw over 200 yards. His QB rating wasn't bad, though. 2 touchdowns, no picks. They ran the ball pretty effectively, too, and they somehow lost. Man, Malik Neighbors went absolutely off, 10 for 127 and a tutty. I thought the Chiefs played horrible. You know what I mean? Both teams, it was a sloppy game on both ends, man. That Bengals-Chiefs game was just sloppy. Fumbles, penalties, interceptions, just not good football. Yeah, you got to give Caleb Williams some time, man. I don't do season-long fantasy. I just do, daily fantasy on DraftKings. Yeah, man, the Vikings, huge win today. They kind of shot themselves in the foot. They had multiple times to win that game. And Brock Purdy played terrible. Straight up. He played terrible today. That happens sometimes in the NFL, San Francisco lost that game more than the Vikings won it, in my opinion. Fumbles, interceptions. They had 3 fumbles, a lost fumble. Purdy fumbled the ball, threw interceptions. He didn't play horrible. I mean, if you look at the box score, you're like, how did they lose this game? And then you're like, oh, the turnovers. Like, look at the box score. Purdy went 28 for 36, 319. Mason went 20 carries for 100 yards. Debo went 8 for 110, and they still lost. It's not about that. I mean, the 49ers are a better team than the Vikings, man. If this was December or January, I think the 49ers win. I don't know who the quarterback for the Dolphins is going to be. I have no idea. Yeah, the Texans won a tough game. Texans didn't play well. They didn't play well. The Buccaneers are a good team. I called that in my prediction video. If you go back and watch it for week 2, I said that the Buccaneers were going to upset the Lions. I called it, man. There's no chance, dude. You're not being honest with yourself, Jerome, if you think the Vikings are a better football team than the 49ers. Yeah, I mean, they won one game. Just because they beat them and the 49ers played horrible and turned the ball over a bunch of times. What do you mean? If Christian McCaffrey was playing in this game and not some guy that nobody even knows about? Christian McCaffrey's like the best player in the NFL, and he didn't play. What are you talking about? That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, I mean, he's 2-0. He's been playing pretty good, too, Elijah. I mean, it's kind of hard to take that momentum away from Justin Fields. He hasn't been playing great. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, man. Yeah, the Colts-Packers game, that was another hard game to watch, man. Just bad football. Just bad football. The Colts look absolutely terrible. Their rush defense is the worst in the NFL, probably. The Colts' rush defense is so unbelievably terrible. Yeah, the Chiefs didn't look great today. They had every opportunity to lose that game. Like, the amount of penalties in these football games make it really, really hard to watch. You're crazy, man. We'll see whose record's better at the end of the year, the Vikings or the 49ers. We'll see whose record's better at the end of the year. How could they be overhyped when their best player didn't play? The Vikings haven't been good in a long time, man, so we'll see. Yeah, that Sunday night game was tough to watch. There was like 25 penalties, man. 25 penalties. Yeah, the 49ers are a great team, man. Just because a team loses, like, are the Patriots better than the Bengals? No. They still lost that game last week. But if you think the Patriots are going to have a better record than the Bengals at the end of the year, you're out of your mind. Yeah, I mean, this was a really sloppy week. A lot of the games were really poorly played. It was a really hard week to watch games. There were so many penalties in the Sunday night game. There was 25 penalties. And then, like, 5 of them got declined. It's still a little too early to tell my top 5 teams right now. I mean, you got to go with the Chiefs. I mean, the Buccaneers are up there. They're playing really good football right now. I like even though the 49ers lost, I really like them. Houston is going to be tough to beat. Pittsburgh's going to be tough to beat with that defense. The Ravens have really underperformed. And the Saints have looked, with their new offensive coordinator, I mean, nobody looks better than the Saints right now. I didn't think the Saints were going to be that good this year, but man. Yeah, man, the Phillies, I think the magic number's down to 5 for the Phillies. That's crazy, man. Lamar Jackson looks... Whew. The Ravens, I don't know what the heck is going to go on with the Ravens. Yeah, I mean, pump the brakes. You guys beat the Vikings in probably, you know, a bunch of turnovers, no Christian McCaffrey, you know, a bunch of penalties. So, yeah, yeah, 100%. The Panthers are absolutely terrible. They can't stop the run. They have no offense at all whatsoever. The Saints offensive coordinator, they have a new offensive coordinator there, and he has that team playing on firing on all cylinders right now. Yeah, I don't know about Josh Dobbs. I mean, if you look at the box score, Purdy played pretty well, minus a couple terrible throws. You guys won one game. You guys beat them fair and square. But I guarantee you, the Vikings might not even make the playoffs. The 49ers are going to be in Super Bowl contention again. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate you, dude. Yeah, I mean, I watch a lot of tape, and I just call it like I see it. I'm not right all the time. You know what I mean? I just watch as much tape as I can and formulate my opinions off the tape. I don't know about that. The Chargers are very one-dimensional, and, you know, they haven't played. They beat the Raiders and the Panthers. It's not like they beat the Chiefs and the 49ers or something, you know what I mean? But Brock Bowers is a dog. Brock Bowers is a dog. I love myself Brock Bowers, man. He's so good. Yeah, how about them sports? I agree 100%. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals offense looked really, really good against a very banged up Rams team. But their defense is still not very good. They played better this week because the Rams are on, like, it's like me playing offensive line for the Rams. They're like on the 6th and 7th guys on the depth chart, man. I mean, yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. I think Brock Purdy is. Yo, Trey McBride is so good. Some of those catches he had today were ridiculous, man. He's really, really, really talented. I love Trey McBride. Yeah, I mean, Christian McCaffrey just brings so many different levels to that offense. He can block. He can run inside zones, outside zones. He can catch the ball out of the backfield better than anyone in the NFL. Well, A.J. Brown's not playing, right? So I think this game's going to be closer than people think. I think it's going to be like a 27-24 or 24-20 type of game. Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys, like, they got a really young offensive line. I thought Mike Zimmer would have the defensive unit a little more prepared for the Saints than they were this week. That was really disappointing to watch. Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting thought about, you know, really unleashing the playbook really early in the season. That's a really interesting thought. I don't think you know nothing. I don't know about all that business. Yeah, Fields is with the Steelers, and Caleb Williams did not play well again, man. He holds on to the ball too long. Yeah, I'm not a big believer in Derek Carr long term, but they look great so far. Through 2 weeks, they look great. I don't know about that, man. Uh, I love the 49ers roster, man. I think once Christian McCaffrey comes back, you know, they lost a tough game on the road. They did not play well at all. Bunch of turnovers really hurt them. They shot themselves in the foot today. They should have won that game. If you actually watch the game play by play. Yeah, Derek Carr, I don't really believe in the Saints offense, but I've been proven wrong the first 2 weeks. We'll see how long it lasts. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey he's on the pup list, so he's got to miss 4 weeks. So he can't come back till like week 6, I think. Yeah, it was a really sloppy week of football for everyone. I watched a lot of games today, and it was a lot of sloppy football, a lot of turnovers, a lot of penalties. Just bad football. Quarterbacks making really horrible decisions. Yeah, I'm originally from Philly. I grew up on the East Coast, and I live in LA now. Yeah, the Dolphins, that's a shame about Tua, man. What were some other big surprises today? Commanders got a win. Arizona dominated. Pittsburgh played sloppy, but they're going to win a lot of games like that 13-6, 17-10, 17-13. The offense still isn't there yet, but Denver's offense is really, really bad. Richard, the Rams are so hurt. They have their whole offensive line is injured. Puka Nakua is out. Cooper Kupp looks like he's going to miss a lot of time. It's like Matt Stafford and like a high school football offensive line. Dude, yeah, Will Levis stinks, man. He's been awful. No, I mean I watched both Seahawks games, and their offensive line is terrible. You know, they beat bad teams. Yeah, I don't know. Something's not clicking. Jared Goff looks bad. He hasn't played well the last 2 weeks. That's why I took the Buccaneers. Goff just doesn't look good. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's hurt or something. Actually, Jake Summers, if you look the last 2 weeks, Gardner Minshew's played well the last 2 weeks. He's thrown for over 500 yards, not a lot of turnovers. Gardner Minshew, and they beat the Ravens today, so I disagree with that. He's played well these past 2 weeks, Gardner Minshew for the Raiders. Jeremy, what are you talking about? Justin Fields plays for the Steelers now. But don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, guys. We're closing in on that 9,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I don't know, man. Gardner Minshew is played pretty good through, 2 weeks for me. Yeah, Jared Goff, 34 for 55. He threw for 300 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks, 61.7 rating. Oh, not a great day. Oh, man, we're getting closer to October. Yeah, I'm going to do some baseball content on the channel once the playoffs start for baseball. If I'm the Steelers, I'm just rolling with Justin Fields. There's no upside to playing Russell Wilson, in my opinion. Sorry to hear that about your grandfather, man. Sorry to hear that. I mean, Anthony Richardson played horrible today. He's like Jekyll and Hyde. He played really good last week, but he played horrendous today. And the Packers' defense is it's decent. They're not a top unit, but they're good. But he played horrible today. Yeah, I mean, Justin Fields has looked okay. You know what I mean? He still only threw for 117 yards today. Yikes. 13 for 20. 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 97 rating. 117 yards. That's not going to get it done. No. The Panthers, they might go 0-16 this year. I'm not a big Derek Carr guy. I don't think they win a ring with Derek Carr. So that's kind of from a GM perspective, can I win a Super Bowl with this quarterback? If the answer is no, then you got to move on. Yeah, the Chargers look good today, but the Panthers are trash. It's a little too early to tell. I think the Raiders are going to be mediocre. They're going to be a 7 or 8 win team. It's a little early to tell, but I got to see a little more out of the Cardinals if they can perform consistently offensively. The defense scares me, and so does the offensive line a little bit. I think best case scenario is 8 wins, but they could be a 6 or 7 win team depending on like how things break. I don't think they're a 10-win team. Could they go 9-8 if everything falls into place? Maybe. But they got to play a lot better defensively. And the offensive line, what's his name? Jonah Williams, the right tackle. He's done, I think, for the year. So the offensive line is, not great. It's a little too early to tell yet, but I mean, it looks like the Buccaneers are the team to beat right now. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe the Packers beat the Colts. Malik Willis, that's embarrassing. Yeah, Anthony Richardson played terrible. He was hard to watch today. And like you could see, like when he was not playing well, you could see it on his face. He was like, checking out. It looked like. I don't know. He's so up and down. He's so hot and cold. It's hard to. I think the Eagles win, but it's going to be close, like 23-20, 27-24. But no A.J. Brown is a huge loss for the Eagles. Yeah, I think the Texans are the team to beat in the AFC South. The Jaguars looked terrible. The Colts are not good. I think it's their division to lose. Yeah, I mean, Anthony Richardson only completed 50% of his passes today, 17 for 34, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Come on, dude. 41.8 rating. He was horrendous today. The floor for losses, I think the Cardinals are like a 7-9 win team. Depending on how things break. I don't like how Kyler Murray's constantly being flushed out of the pocket. It's going to catch up to him. He's either going to get hurt again for the millionth time. It's just hard to win that way. Hard to win that way. Josh Jacobs ran the ball down the Colts' throat. 32 carries, 151 yards. The Colts' rush defense is so terrible. If you have a fantasy guy going up against the Colts defense all day long. Yeah, the Bears are not very good. The defense played great, but the offense, it's going to take some time. I don't know, man. He really got outcoached in week 1. He made a lot of bad decisions to lose that game for them. But then, the Raiders had a huge bounce-back win against the Ravens. So I don't know what to think about Antonio Pierce, to be honest. I think the players like playing for him, and that's really, really important. Jets and Titans, I think Aaron Rodgers played okay. He played Aaron Rodgers football. I'm not going to turn the ball over a lot. Let Will Levis make the turnovers, and that's exactly what happened. Will Levis turned the ball over like he always does, and then they lost. Simple as that. It's really that simple. I'm checking out some of these, though. Hold on, I'm just looking at some of these comments. Well, yeah, I mean, the way they're playing now, they're 0-2. The Ravens they're just very limited offensively. Like, if they have no other wide receivers not named Zay Flowers. I don't know. Ravens got a tough schedule. They play in a tough division. Listen to the next 3 weeks for the Ravens. Cowboys, Bills, Bengals. No easy games. If they started the season 0-5, I wouldn't be surprised. No, I think if they would let him sling it, he would turn the ball over even more. The best defense in football right now. Probably the Steelers. The Steelers are like shutting out everyone, man. They're really, really impressive. The Steelers' defense is so good. Yeah, if I had to pick right now after 2 weeks, I'm going with the Steelers. Yeah, Justin Fields is, getting some W's in Pittsburgh. No, I don't hate any NFL team. Maybe the Cowboys. But hate's a strong word, man. I just like ribbing on Cowboys fans because they haven't won a championship in like 100 years. I don't hate any NFL teams. I mean, I'm an Eagles fan, so like I like ribbing on Cowboys fans and Giants fans. It's early to tell. I mean, none of these young quarterbacks have played well at all. None of them. Offensively, like Brock Bowers, man, I'm telling you, dude, he's been unbelievable. He had another great game today. The dude's an absolute beast. Malik Neighbors is showing out too. But none of the quarterbacks have played well at all. So if you go outside quarterback, Neighbors and Bowers are my two picks. They are my favorite two players in the draft this year, so that makes me feel good about my scouting this year. Brock Bowers, 9 catches, 98 yards, and Malik Neighbors went off. Absolute off. I mean, the Cowboys haven't been, made an NFC Championship game in 30 years. It's too early to tell for the MVP. No one's really played great yet. It's been tough. He played okay. He played Aaron Rodgers football. 2 touchdowns, no turnovers, took care of the football. Will Levis turned it over. Jets win. It's too early to talk about MVP. We got to go at least 6 weeks, in my opinion. I don't know. The Lions have not been playing good, man. So the Lions need a win. They haven't been playing great. Even they beat the Rams in week 1, but they didn't look good doing it. And the Lions are better at home than they are on the road. I mean, the Cardinals are in play to win that game. Yeah, the Steelers look great. The defense is so good. The offense needs a little bit of work, but, Steelers defense is probably the best defense in the NFL right now, for sure. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I'll do another live stream tomorrow night after the Birds game. I hope everyone enjoyed their football. I hope you guys won some money. I broke even. Not my best week in bets. Survivor, 7 out of 10 are moving on for next week. The Ravens killed us, man. The Ravens losing to the Raiders? God dang it. Lamar Jackson at home losing to the Raiders? Come on. All right, have a good week, guys. Peace.